I'm looking pretty good, guys. This is usually fairly frightening.
I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hey, how's it going? Today is an exciting day for me. It's gonna be my first alignment I've ever done on my car, professionally or anything. All I've done is tape measurement alignments since day one. I've had this car for 6 years or whatever. So I'm just gonna throw the front fenders on quick so I can figure out my ride height while I'm there and get the proper toe for that alignment and all that, and also back. I'm also gonna be throwing my slicks on because I want to make sure nothing's gonna rub at that ride height that I pick. So I've got air in my tank for my airbag so I can go up and down, figure out what pressures are good for my racing, all that fun stuff. It's gonna be a very intricate day, and thankfully Bain Automotive is letting me use their alignment rack, which is sweet. So I can just fart around with it however long I want, make sure everything is straight. Going for 0 camber in the front, 0 camber in the back, and then maybe -1 or 2 degrees in the front of toe. Right, off to Baden Automotive I go. It's about a 17-hour drive, so that's kind of an issue, but whatever. Gotta do what you gotta do to get that race car running right, you know what I'm saying? Would you just look at it? Looks so nice with the wheels. This is the first time I mounted them. This is the first time I mounted them with the new paint. Looks awesome. Looks like it's a mean car now. Looks real mean. Science. She's up there. Didn't need any ramps because she's a monster truck now with those big old meats. So this will be interesting. Using this bad boy. It's called Hunter. All right, so there's these weird black reflectors that go onto the wheels. No lasers like the old school stuff. And this is the first time it's ever been used with these little blue arms. It's a specific kind of angle it needed, and it worked perfect for all my slicks. So I'm just throwing those on. It just basically clips onto the tire, and then you're ready to rock. Honestly, it was such a cool experience learning about all this stuff. Like, honestly, I cannot be any more thankful for actually being able to do everything myself on this. Unbelievable. So much cool technology these days. A little bit more. There you go. Possibly. Do that. So this one's just cranked.
Yeah, it's a degree in, almost a degree.
Oh, that's all?
Toe.
That.
Your toe.
So green is camber.
Yep.
Is this camber for this one?
That's toe for the left side. Camber. Toe.
Oh, okay. So when it's
Camber,
green, it's
toe.
okay. Is that what it means?
Yeah.
Here I am. I've got lots of problems in the back, but the front is basically perfect. But the most important thing to do is get ride height first. And as you can see, the front has a little bit higher of a ride height than the back. So I'm gonna wanna level it out or even get the front lower than the back so it has a little bit of a rake. So once I launch it, it'll level out and it'll have less weight transfer to the back. So the goal is to keep some weight on the front wheels so it doesn't spin as much. So I'm going to figure out my ride height and see what would rub with one, figure that out first. Right now I'm just measuring all 4 corners, making sure everything's level, and also getting the car as low as possible with enough travel in between the tire and the inner fender lines so it doesn't rub. I'm just trying to figure out that perfect spot where everything's good for angles and fitment issues and all that fun stuff. All right, I've got the ride height figured out. I've got it just on top of the tire here, and the tire can go inside the fender, obviously. And same with the back. There's an inch in there, but it is at the top of the tire. So I measured from this level plate here up to the corner where the door meets the quarter panel, and that is 24 7/8. So I did the same on the other side, and then on the fronts, I measured from this corner on the door where the fender meets the door, that body line, down to this plate that is the same plate as that, and I got 22 3/4. So I made it all level with the bags going up and down with my airbags. So I've got the same height all around. And the only reason why the front is different than the back measurement is because the body line goes up. So as you can see, it's lower here and then it goes up. It's just the style of the MX-3. It kind of just goes swooping up. So when I get the car back to my shop, and I'm gonna have to redial in my bags to run that pressure, to run the optimal pressure and get this ride height on the front and the back. But this is where I'm gonna align it, and later on I can go from there. But it looks really good, it's level, and I definitely didn't want the front higher than the back. Right now I'm just perfectly level, and I'm more than happy with that. Now I gotta get the specs. So it's all set up. Now I'm gonna start with the rear toe. The cambers are all bad in the back, so I've got to start with that. I'm gonna do the toe, and here is the toe here. So I'm minus 0.1 over here, and on the right, rear right, I have 0.4 negative, and this is positive. Or sorry, this one's negative and this one's positive. So I need to get that straightened out, and then I'll do the camber and then go back to the toe. That's what I was been told, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm just gonna double click on the rear toe. So now I can see from far away how close I am. And I'm going up in here and cranking on my custom aluminum tie rods that I got made by StimTech. Got a good start on the toe on the left. Now I gotta get this right rear toe straightened. And now I look from far and I got the computer on the right side. Now I can just stick my hand in here.
Left hand's on the tie rod and my right hand's on the camera. This was hard to do, but I was adjusting it to show you how I can do it from far away too.
Rear toe is good enough for now, so now I'm gonna go to the camber for the rear. It's very close. It's negative and half a degree, so I'm gonna get it to 0, but might as well, right? All right, Luke got those bolts loose with an impact, so now I'm gonna be adjusting my camber in the right rear. When we loosened it, it made it actually worse, so I'm gonna have to compensate. Got one of these little pusher boys, and I'm just basically gonna put it in and put it on the top of the wheel and tighten it until it is pushing the top of the wheel up, because I have negative camber and I need to give it positive to 0. Got the rear right camber to 0.01. That is basically perfect. That's good enough for me. I'm going to go to the rear camber on the left. It's very awkward for me being on a hoist because I don't realize that I can like look underneath the car. Got my hand on the tie rod here. Got the rear right toe all figured out. It bounces from 0.01 to 0.00, so it's very, very close to perfect. So I'm very happy with that too. This wheel's done. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Okay, going to the rear camber. I'm way out, so I've got a bunch of negative here. So I'm gonna have to get that straightened out. All right, I got negative 0.1 for camber in the rear. Now I'm just gonna go to toe. Where's the toe at? Right here. So I'm way off on toe, so I'll adjust that. I'm gonna put you by the computer here, and I'm gonna adjust that tie rod in the back. Okay, the right rear camber is perfect. The right left rear camber is perfect. Right left toe is perfect. Right toe is perfect. This 0.02 is, and as you can see, it's kind of fluctuating because it's so close that it'll just hover over 0. I've been going at this for like an hour and a half, just trying to get it as perfect as I possibly can. 0 everything, because that's how cars go straight. Cut myself too. All right, my front left camber is perfect. It's just very impressive because I actually did all the alignments by eye every time I've done them because I've never had it on a rack. But I need to do a little bit of adjusting to this front right, and then I will move on to my toe. My toe is way off because I changed the ride height while I was here. So when you go down with my MX-3, it goes positive camber, and when you go down or up, it goes negative. All right, it's time for me to do my front right. It's way out, front left's way out. So I'm gonna open that up and then give that a shot. Okay, I got this jack here on the front, and I'm just jacking up the car until I think that's where it's gonna wanna be once it's under load and taking off of a launch or under heavy load for power. I'll go to this side, check it out. Why do the lights look so weird on the camera? As you can see, the front end's up a little bit, which is good. So now all my camber and everything is messed up. So I need to zero that out with the front end up a bit. So basically, I'm just gonna level out the control arms. And I've got a gauge here for degrees. Gonna zero everything out. There we go, there's 0. Now I'm gonna put it on the other control arm. That's zeroed as well. So now the car is in a position where it would most likely be in a launch. Okay, awesome. With the front end up, I have 0 camber, and now I just need to work on my toe again. Front right's 0 toe, front right's camber 0, front left's 0 toe, and front left is 0 camber. So with the front end up, it is perfectly straight. Just for fun, I'm gonna put it down and see what's going on, see how far it is out compared to it actually being up. So I'm gonna see that. So it's only out 1 degree. Out at like completely flat. So that's awesome. Looks good. So the front's perfect. This is the way it sits on the ground without being in load, but it's not even bad. They're very, very close. So when it's in load with the front end up, everything's straight. The camber, the caster's good, and the toe is good. And all my numbers on the back are good. The rear left camber is 0. Rear left toe is 0. It keeps jumping from 0 to -4 for whatever reason. And same with this guy. I'm looking pretty good, guys.